Have you ever lain awake thinking about starting your business and that familiar feeling of uncertainty shows up? That sense that you're standing at a threshold, and if you move forward with your dream, everything might change? And then somewhere in that quiet, another thought takes shape, causing you to wonder if you go after that dream, how will it impact everything around you? And if you don't, will you regret it? If you're new here, I'm Lorna. And this is a space where we talk honestly about stepping into the online world and creating something new. Not perfectly, not quickly, just honestly, especially when it doesn't follow a traditional timeline. Today, I want to talk about a feeling that doesn't get talked about very often, but I know many of you have felt it. For me, that feeling didn't arrive with a big emotional moment. There was no breakdown, no crisis, no dramatic turning point. It just showed up quietly one ordinary afternoon. And I remember asking myself a very simple question. What do I do now that I have time? And almost unexpectedly, a dream I had carried quietly for years just surfaced. Not as wishful thinking, not as fantasy, a real grounded idea I once believed I'd return to when I wasn't so busy. And suddenly I realized later has arrived. But instead of clarity or motivation, I felt uncertainty. I didn't know how to step into the dream. And what stayed with me was the subtle self questioning, the uncertainty. I started asking myself things like, did I abandon something important? Am I too late to start something new? Did I let myself down by waiting this long? And how do I even begin? Those questions didn't come loudly, they came softly, but they were persistent. They hovered. And I think that was what made that season felt so heavy. Now, here's where it got complicated. One part of me spoke with reason and logic. I was reminded I was good at what I did. I was responsible. I had a great career. You showed up for family. You built a good life. And all of that was true. But another part of me was whispering something different. And that was, you kept postponing yourself. And can you really start over now? And what will friends and family say? And suddenly I felt caught between two identities. The woman who honored her responsibility, who is retired now and able to relax and spend time with family, and the woman who quietly wanted to do something different, to start an adventure, wondering how to step into something new and unfamiliar, and whether it was already too late. I wasn't disappointed in my life, but I wasn't at peace in retirement either. And as I sat with those thoughts, a different question surfaced. It wasn't harsh, just gentle. What if waiting until now was preparation? What if it gave me more life experience, more insight, more discernment than I could not have had earlier? And what if this season of my life required the waiting? That's when something softened in me. I realized this. Delay doesn't automatically mean late, at least not the way I had been telling myself. Sometimes delay means on time with wisdom, on time with discernment, on time with insights, on time with the space to devote to something new. But that understanding didn't erase attention either, but it changed how I held it. I stopped speaking to the past. Instead, I began meeting myself in the moment, now feeling behind, not trying to catch up, just present, just becoming. And that greatly reduced the stress. Now I want to leave you with a question, not one that you need to answer, just to sit with. If delay didn't mean late, what might be possible for you? You don't need to prove anything. You don't need to rush. Just notice what shifts when you stop watching the clock and start trusting the season you're in. Trust your timing. Nothing about your journey is rushed or wasted. So until next time, I'm Lorna, and I'll see you in the next video.